So I wanted to make this video because I have been diagnosed with ADHD and I am 30 years old and I have been prescribed Adderall. So I want to record my experience with how medication will change my brain. ADHD, being an adult with ADHD and a female as well, you think that it's for kids, it's for boys, it's because of sugar, it's something that can be controlled, it's just something that you can learn to cope with. It's extremely hard. Like, I am 30 years old and I've accomplished so much with my life. And for my brain to be the way it is, and which I'll explain what it's like. No. I'll explain what it's like to have what's going on in my brain at all times, like 24/7. It is what you see on the outside. You see, most people who know me, they see me as calm, they see me well put together, they see me as eccentric, as creative, as smart. They see all of these things, but they don't know what's going on inside my brain. And now that I'm 30, I realize it is my responsibility to take care of me and my brain, and it's okay to get medication because I've accomplished so much with my life and I'm so grateful, and I want more because I know my full potential has not been unleashed yet. So I'm wondering if being on medication will help me. I took this medication 20 minutes ago, and it takes about 30 minutes to an hour to take effect. So I don't know at what point. I've heard stories about how people who adults have been diagnosed with ADHD, how they react once they take proper medication, how their brain transforms. So I'm curious. This is why I want to record it, so people can see, like, I look calm and all of this on the outside, but on the inside it is a whole different story, and it's not something that I can't control. My brain is literally, ADHD is, it's not necessarily a poor wiring of the brain, it's just we're wired differently. Our dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, epinephrine, it's all in there, but it's not being picked up correctly. So our brains are always looking for dopamine hits. We're looking for what our brain, like, is rewarded. So one of the things that's going in my brain is I'm attracted to glitter. Like, you think that's like, I will stare at glitter. Glitter is my favorite color, and that's because it soothes me. And I never realized up until I was diagnosed with ADHD here at Thanksgiving. It's now January 3rd. So I was diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, and anxiety. And now that I'm aware of what it is, I've been looking into it. I am not a licensed professional. I don't know. I haven't been exploring it. I'm new to this. What my research is from YouTube and, like, articles that I have found that have helped me. Liza. That have helped me understand. And now that I know this, it's like clicking in my brain, and I'm like, holy cow, like, I've lived this long with all of these things, and it was something that could have been, like, most people get diagnosed as kids because we have our more modern system of education. We have teachers can pick up on it. I've been told by my friends multiple times who are also ADHD diagnosed that I have ADHD as well, but I was just like, I don't have time for me, I don't prioritize myself, I'm fine, I'm coping, like, I'm good. So at Thanksgiving I had a turning point, like, I need help. So I went to see a psychiatrist and she diagnosed me, and now today I finally got a prescription of Adderall. For the last month and a half I've been on Zoloft, which have really helped me with my thoughts. Like, like my anxiety and my PTSD, which is what Zoloft is for, and also it's going to help with my Adderall, the side effects of that. But it has really, really helped. Like, It really has. It's simple. Like, I don't know, I just feel more at peace. My thoughts are more like less I'm in more I'm a more in peace in my thoughts since I've started taking Zoloft, and now it's in my system for several weeks. And I've also started like meditating, yoga. So there's other things that I'm doing. It's not just I'm using medication. I have been doing my own work, my own research, and my own self-healing to work on myself and learn new coping things. How can I help myself besides medication? In 2 weeks, I will start therapy. They hired a new therapist where I can see and interact with her, and that's how I'm going to get help with my PTSD, my anxiety, and all of those coping skills, and just help me heal my inner child. Now, what ADHD is, it's either hereditary or it can be, from what I've found on the internet, is that it can be related to trauma. It's your brain rewires to learn how to cope. So my situation could be related to my trauma. I don't know. It could be hereditary because my children have been diagnosed borderline ADHD, but they've also experienced trauma as well. So I don't know. I am an immigrant, so I came here when I was 10 years old, which is roughly the time when kids get diagnosed. So I came here, there's no language, there's a culture barrier, there's a language barrier, so there's all of that going on. And I live in Southeast Oklahoma, so our mental health education in the early 2000s was it's just nah. So with all of that taken consideration, I got overlooked and I slipped through the cracks and I didn't get any type of mental help. I don't remember any kind of mental exams growing up. I don't. Nobody really interfered. And this is where I'm going to get into the ADHD brain in females. With boys, younger boys, they're hyperactive, but that's not always the case. With females, ADHD can be, we are creative, which is what I was. I was a lonely kid who struggled making friends, who colored. I played with clay. I played on swings. I was always in nature, and I loved it. And I was a good kid, and I was a good teenager. I always drew, and people loved how I drew, but I never felt connected. And I never understood why, and it's extremely hard. But nobody ever questioned, because I was a good kid. I colored, I minded my own business. Yeah, I felt alone, but I thought maybe it's because I'm an immigrant, so, I don't know. So I'm hoping that me getting counseling and getting on Adderall will help me feel more socially acceptable. It's not that people don't accept me, it's my own feelings. And it could be related to a whole bunch of mess. I don't know. But we're going to get into it and find out. So I'm recording this to share my journey. So hoping that other people will seek help. Maybe I can support other people. It's okay to be an adult. It is our responsibility to get the help that we need as adults. We have to heal. What happened to me is not my fault. I have done wonderfully. I have coped well, but I want more for my life. ADHD also can interfere with having relationships. It can interfere with, it's always like my brain, I hyper focus, which is what one of the ADHD benefits is. We hyper focus. I hyper focus on a certain subject and I get really into it. I love it. I go in depth, but it may be hindrance because it's not important to me or not a priority, but that's what my brain wants. And I completely lost my train of thought. Now I remember. But simple tasks, like simple questions, are really, really hard for me. And I don't understand. I never understood why. Like little simple tasks, small questions, like I'll be like having a miniature panic attack inside. I'd be like, and I paused. I'm thinking, I was like, maybe I have to translate it into my original language and translate it back. I don't know. Why am I doing this? Like, I never understood, but now that I looked into the ADHD, it's just like, it's a thing. Like, you're like, it's right there, but it's not coming out because there's so much going in the brain, and you're like, wow. And people look at you as not reliable, or that you're like stupid or you don't understand. And you're like, I know I'm very intellectual because I can like remember random facts because I researched into it. I'm great at research. I'm great at writing papers. But asking me like simple question, I'm just like, huh? Like it's like that, and it's really annoying, and I want more because the career that I want, the path that I want requires me to be accountable 100% of the time because I'm going to be responsible for human lives, and I want to be a leader. I want to be a better partner, a better mom, a better person in all aspects. So me getting on medication is, if that can help me, that's great. It may not solve my problems, which requires counseling and me doing my own healing and self-work and new coping skills. Then I've already done great. I'm looking at it, I'm just like, wow, like I have done this whole entire time, and I never knew this because I thought this was normal. So from one of the reasons I'm recording it is because I'm curious to see how Adderall is going to affect, because my brain is always, like literally my brain is always, which just comes to hyperactivity. Okay, so it's been like 30 minutes since I've taken medication. My brain is always like, it's so much thoughts non-stop. It is insane how many thoughts I have, and they're all like, I can think of, like, I consider it a blessing, but it's not always great because sometimes I just want to quiet in my brain. I want to focus on what I need to be doing. I want to be able to prioritize tasks. Like it's literally, I have salsa dancing. I like to bachata. I like to salsa dance. So there's always a little character in my head that's dancing. There's like, it's literally like, maybe there's like a monkey, those toy monkeys that go like this, the little things, like it's that. So I have somebody dancing here. I have a little monkey with this. I have something that happened 20 years ago that I'm just like constantly thinking, I'm like, well, I should have done this. I wanted this. Oh, and then someone else wore glitter on their t-shirt. And there's all of these thoughts going in. There's literally like, imagine 20 TV screens going at the same time. And they're all relevant thoughts, they're all complete thoughts, but it's not what I need to be focused on. My brain is just like, so I'm very proud of myself for being able to get through. I'm almost done with nursing school. I'm entering my last semester. So I'm very proud to have accomplished what I've accomplished with all of this going in my brain, because reading is really hard. It is really hard. As a kid, I struggled to read. I was a late reader. And I don't know why. I don't. Maybe it's ADHD related. Maybe just because I could memorize stories. Like if you read me the story, I would memorize it and I could like pretend I was reading. So that's one of the things. Like I can hear well and I remember things. So me in a class, I'll be sitting there trying to focus and I'm looking out the windows. If it's raining, if anybody's walking by, like I'm just looking out the window. Sunshine, rain, snow, whatever is going on. Hail. What is going on? Because my brain is not where it needs to be. It's outside. If somebody's wearing fake eyelashes, I'm just like, I don't know why, because I think it's like so pretty to put on. I'm just like staring at it because like if it's glitter, if it's any noise, any minute amount of noise, I'm always hearing it. Like those candles, somebody bought me a candle that crackles for my birthday, and after I've told them I have ADHD and I opened up like all of this, and they bought me a candle that crackles, and I'm just like, you're so sweet, but I'm gonna like try to relax. All I hear is go like the sound's amazing. It sounds like a little forest fire, not a forest fire, but like a little campfire, and it's peaceful and calming. But my brain is just like, that's all I can focus on because that's all I'm hearing. I'm just like, so I need to gather my thoughts. I'm ready for this medication to take effect so we can see what's going on, to how it affects me. So back to female ADHD. It is, for for female ADHD, we go within ourselves. Like we punish ourselves in our own brain. From what I've learned on YouTube is that we go within, we withdraw. Like not necessarily that we're introverted, it's just like we go within and we punish ourselves in our own head of like we're lacking because we don't understand. Because of the ADHD, it's related to our neurotransmitters and what's being picked up, what's not being picked up, we just think differently. We withdraw, we punish ourselves internally. We are very creative. We can become, one of the things about ADHD is that we take risks, and sometimes those risks can't pay off or they can get us hurt. So that is the one thing that people need to be aware about ADHD is just like, one of the things I'll do that I've noticed about myself is I'll do something that I'm like, yeah, I gotta do this. Like I have this impulse and I have to do it. Like, and then immediately like sending a text message to someone and you type it down, you're like, I have to say this, I have to. And you do it, then you're like, why did I do that? Why? It's like, it's not something I'm just like, why did I do that? Just my brain, like I had an impulse and I had to do it. So it's really frustrating, and I want more for myself. I want to have successful relationships and I want to be a leader. And I'm hoping with this, I don't know how long I'm going to take it. I don't know how I'm going to feel for it. I don't know, but I'm experiencing this, and I want people to understand that things that I hear about myself from people who have said how they view me is that I look like someone who has it all together. Excuse me. And my house is always neat. One of the things about ADHD related is we suck at prioritizing tasks. We suck at cleaning. Remember the thought. We suck at cleaning. So I hate doing dishes. I love cooking. I hate doing dishes. So when you come to my house unexpectedly, my dishes will be like, I'll have so many dishes because like I'll literally have like look at it, like it just causes me anxiety to just think about doing dishes. But I will bleach my baseboards and I'll wipe my walls with bleach, like, because that's something that I want to do. But dishes, my everything will be clean, but the dishes, laundry, I'm just like, oh, like it's really hard. Like it piles up, like the socks, it gets really annoying. But then when I'm like, oh, I gotta do this, and then I'll like I'll clean so good when I want to hyper focus. But it's so hard to get yourself there to do like laundry and dishes. And because your thoughts want to hyper focus, you will end up cleaning the freaking cabinets for 2 hours because your thought was like, well, we're gonna fix it all. And it's really annoying because that's not time management I have, but I completely lose track of time because I get so hyper focused on cleaning out the cabinets because I clean the dishes and I want to clean this. Well, maybe I should do this. Well, I should go to Walmart and buy this. So another thing about ADHD, remembered my thoughts. Another thing about ADHD, me being an immigrant, I have learned to speak slower, to enunciate well. So the way I talk, like when you hear me talk, it's how I really, really want to talk. But then when you hear me outside, like I make sure I speak clearly, enunciate my things, and try to get my message across well. And it usually doesn't work. Like I don't suck at communicating. I don't. I'm a good communicator. I just overthink. So another thing about ADHD is you overthink. Back to my thoughts. Mail. I will have like dishes. I will have anxiety checking my mail, opening letters. Like it's just like it is so much pressure. Like mail, paperwork. Like one of the things that I've learned into it is that ADHD people will have like, we just won't do our mail, like paperwork and organizing, that type of stuff. Something that's simple task like what is it, bookkeeping, whatever your checking account, like that, like looking at any type of paper stresses me out. Like simple paperwork, like filling out just basic information, like it just stresses me out. Mail, I have boxes of mail, which is a great thing because I have receipts from like 2013. Do I need them? Probably. Yeah, 'cause taxes, you never know. But it's just not organized. And I'm like, I realize like I have all this stuff just because like I'd rather be just like, don't want to deal with it because it just, my brain. I'm still waiting for this medication to kick in. Still got a little bit, so I can keep talking about ADHD. I really don't want to turn the camera off because I wanted to record my reaction. Like once once medication takes the effect that it's supposed to take. One of the things people have to understand about ADHD and what I've learned since I've tried Strattera, which is a non-stimulant. It is, I'm not going to go, it's a non-selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. But I didn't like that. Like it made me emotional. I took it for a week. It made me so emotional. It gave me insomnia. It made, like, the biggest thing is it made me so emotional. So I went back and they told me get off of it. She put me on Zoloft. And she said by the time I get to see the psychiatrist who can prescribe me a prescription for a stimulant, which is what Adderall is. It is a stimulant. There are multiple types of stimulants. And what Adderall does for the brain is it picks up the correct type of neurotransmitters so my brain can function the way I need it to while I'm taking it. You take it in the morning. Sorry. You take it in the morning and you take it in the afternoon, and you have to be careful how you take it. You have to take it, like, you have to eat. You have to eat. And the way it does in the brain is someone who has ADHD, it calms your brain. Like, it makes all the thoughts go from just being all over the place to where you can focus on things. And I'm curious, like, I want to know what that feels like because I didn't realize how I'm always tired. My brain is always going. When I lay down to go sleep, my brain doesn't shut down. Like I can go turn TV off and turn my phone off at 9 and I'm trying to go sleep and be in bed by like 10, but I'll be up till 4 o'clock just laying there because my brain just won't stop. Like it thinks of everything. And like it's exhausting. It's exhausting to just always be exhausted. No matter how much rest you get, you're just always exhausted because your brain just doesn't stop, and I can't control that. I can't control overthinking, and people say things like, oh, just don't think that, or don't this. It's something that you can't control. So another thing is be mindful of the words. If somebody says that they have like, oh, I've been diagnosed with this, or I think I have this, be mindful because I literally can't control my overthinking. Like I hyper focus. One of the things that has been not necessarily a downfall but has more negative impact on me is I will research, going back to my hyper focusing, I will research things so far in depth, but it's not what I need to know to pass the exam. I think this medication's taking effect because I want to cry. Like I'll read and I research and I love the medical field. Like one of the things I do want people to know that are interested in nursing, they think it's too hard, is it's not. It's possible to do it. Like it really is. It is a lot of information to take in. There's so many things, but just like it is very possible. I've gone, like I'm almost done. Like I'm fixing to graduate in like 4 months from nursing school and be a registered nurse, and I've done this without seeking any professional help so far. And it is possible, and I want everybody to believe in themselves that you can achieve whatever you want to. And there's coping skills that I have developed since I've developed, like, from early on through my teenage years through an adult life, and since I've started nursing school, I've learned new coping skills. And now that I'm seeking, like, now I have sought out professional help. Now that I'm almost through with school, now I'm gonna get therapy. Yay! It's a good thinking, because when you don't prioritize yourself, you're so focused on other things. Accept yourself, and that you need to focus on yourself and get the help that you need, and it's okay. And it's okay to get the help, because I want people to see how my brain is in a positive way versus my, like, neurotic brain, where it's like so many thoughts and I go so in depth. One of the negative thing that I was talking about earlier is that I hyper focus and I go in depth. I love going in depth, I do, but it's not what I need. It's not what I need. Like, when we were studying mental health here right before Thanksgiving, I was drawing pictures of the brain and, like, thinking, like, of all the, how is it going to be affected if the stroke happens in a patient's brain in this location? What is the damage? What senses? How's it going to, like, those type of things? Like, is it wonderful for me to know that? Yeah. Do I need it? And realistically, as a nurse, will I ever actually, like, need to know that? No. I mean, as of right now, like, do I plan to further my education? Yes. But it's not what I need to focus on. And that is a downfall of having ADHD, is I research the things, like, I get so excited about certain things. And going back to, the harder the thing is, like, the easier it is for me, and the simpler a task is, the harder it is for me. And it is just like, and like, next couple of years, nursing school, next couple of years, is just the basics, and it's just simple tasks and safety measures. And I'm just like, it takes so long for my brain to wrap around it, and just like I comprehend it, but just like I don't comprehend it. I don't know how to explain it. But if you, like, throw me a really hard, like, thing that I don't need to know, like, I don't need to know this information. Doctors need to know this information. Specialists need to know this information. But I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna know it. But it's not what I need to know. Like, I can have that knowledge later. And it is a blessing, because I can pop out random facts. And I don't like it, because I don't like, because I research so much into it, and I like to go outside of books. Like, I'll have so many books open in front of me so I can connect all the dots. And for other people, it's just like, they don't understand that, and I wish people would understand what goes inside my brain. My dog's in here. I don't know. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen, and I don't know. So, I don't know. So, it's been 45 minutes. So, I'm curious to see what it's going to be like. What? My dog is looking in a mirror, looking at me. I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to put the words into what's going on inside my brain. I feel different. I don't know how to explain it. All I know is that I feel different in my brain. Like, my thoughts are a little less all over the place. Like, they're still not coming together, because I've said a lot. And just, like, been rambling and rambling, and my mouth is tired. My brain is tired. So, for females, I want to talk more about how to recognize signs of ADHD. And people, like what I've seen so far is people in their 70s have been diagnosed with ADHD. You kind of go on, you think it's normal. Oh. Oh, I want to cry. My brain. My brain. Oh gosh. Like I'm happy, but I want to cry because I don't know, like I'm happy. My brain feels different. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels less. It feels less. I don't know. Um People in their 70s are getting diagnosed from, keep in mind, this is all from YouTube and internet. Um People in their 70s are getting diagnosed, and older people, if you have family members like your kids getting diagnosed, and people like, oh, I have this. And another thing that I was talking about that I forgot. Oh. um Crap. It just so much. It's so much to think about, but I'm just like, I wish I had prepared this because I'm just winging it. Like I didn't write anything down. I just sat here and I'm like, I took my pill, I walked around, I'm like, getting close to 30 minutes or getting close to 20 minutes, so I should sit down and talk about it. Um I forgot. It's a lot to process right now. I know I feel different. So, um but people who, oh yeah, boys and girls. So as a little girl, I was, I don't know if I am, like if it's a genetic thing, but it's hereditary ADHD, um, or if it's like related to my trauma that I experienced after I was 10 years old. And like your brain, like I was telling earlier, your brain learns to rewire itself to cope. So I don't know, but as a little girl in Russia, I was always the creative. Like no, I don't think nobody ever noticed or thought about it. Like I don't know how mental health was in the 90s in Russia because we're kind of coming out of, the government falling apart. So I was just a quiet little girl. I was very quiet. I played by myself. Or I would be very competitive with the boys. I like to climb things. So going back to that risk taking, I would climb. I wanted to beat the boys, to climb higher than like all the other kids. Like I don't know why, but that's what I like to do. And then coming to America, I was still quiet. I like to play. I was a weird, like I'm a weird kid. I've always been a weird kid. Um but it's in a good way, and I like myself. It has made me who I am as an adult. Like I'm into weird and unusual, and I'm very creative. So for boys, they're viewed more as the physically hyperactive. They, oh, sitting still. Have an ADHD, you're always moving. It's a little minute things. It's finger tapping. I'm always like, I don't chew my nails. I think I did it as a kid, like when I was really young. But I would bite around it, and my mom would get into me for biting my nails. So that's another sign of ADHD, is you're biting. Moving your fingers a lot, like clicking your pen. Like I will click a pen. Having gum really helped, like chews, but then you like wear your jaw out. So that is another thing, is how you cope with ADHD. Can you tell the difference? Like I know you can. Like you can tell the difference. I can tell the difference. And it's just it's a lot to take in. So I think this is why it's so hard. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to process. So you're just finger tapping, pen clipping, chewing gum really loud. Not loud, but like you're like, tapping your foot. I cannot sit normal in a chair. I had always struggled sitting still in a chair. Like I always have to like move my foot here, move my foot here, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to get comfortable, and I have to move around, and like it's nonstop. Oh, rocking back and forth in the chair. Remember those plastic, not like the plastic chairs that could rock? I like doing that. So I don't know. I guess if you're not causing problems, you don't really get noticed. And with me being an immigrant, me being just, I was always creative, like I always be drawing, so people just kind of left me alone. So, and I made good grades, so people just kind of left me alone. So I don't think they thought much of it because I wasn't that much. I, I don't know. I didn't attract that much attention to myself, so I just slipped somewhere in a crack. I come from a single parent household, so my mom didn't see me until late at night when I was going to bed. So uh, it was just not something that we seen. And I don't really come. I didn't have any mental health professionals around me growing up. We didn't really have that in Southeast Oklahoma in the early 2000s. And then I just kind of became an adult and I got busy with my life and being a mom, and now I'm making myself a priority because I need to also take care of me to be a better person to help others. And another thing that interferes, ADHD interferes, is having relationships, and I don't want that. Like I want to have healthy relationships with my family, my friends. I want to make more friends that are like-minded, that understand me and respect me for who I am, and who are emotionally supportive through my process, which I have many of those, and they're wonderful, and I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful for my friends who are like, you have ADHD, you need to you need to go. Like I'm so grateful for them. And just to understand, to have someone to talk to understand what's going inside your brain, because like no matter how much you explain people who don't have it, they're like, well, why don't you just do this? You're like, no, it's not how it works. It becomes a neurotransmitter level, and that's not something, like I've learned great coping skills and I've done so many great things, and I'm looking at new coping skills that I'm looking on internet to how to cope better with all of my with my ADHD, my anxiety, and PTSD. And I'm like, I'm already doing that. Like I need more help. Like I've done the help that I can. I've looked it up online to further see if I can find new coping skills. And I haven't. Like I was like, oh, I'm doing that. That's why like I've done so much in my life. Now I need more help to get to where I want to be in life. I really hope that you can see the difference it is in my brain. Because I feel it. I've been on Christmas break, so I don't know how it's gonna handle once I go back to school. Like I wish I had like stressors, like educational stressors, to where like my brain was challenged so I can see the difference, but right now I don't. Like Liza. So I've been relaxing. Like I haven't been, like I've been reading like for my fun, but like not really like where it's time crunch stuff to see how it's really gonna help me. I really reading I read. I don't think I'm a slow reader, but I'm a slow reader because I highlight and I take flashcards. I have to do my little flashcards. Liza. Liza. I have to do my flashcards. My cat's tail is hitting the screen. You can't see